everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Business and Learning Show. This show highlights tips and tricks entrepreneurs can use to grow and sustain their business. For more information on this episode and to learn more, visit us at businessandlearning.com. I am Elena Frederick, and my partner in crime, Tammy Munson, is down with a migraine, so it is just me tonight. But is it? No, I will be joined with Dr. Madiah Saeed here in a moment. I just want to thank you guys for joining us live. We are currently streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure to leave us any comments or questions for our special guests in the comments below, and we will answer them live for you. So tonight we are joined with the amazing and fabulous and incredibly hysterical funny Dr. Madiah Saeed, better known as the Holistic Mom. She is a physician and a mom of 4 boys. She's also, if that wasn't enough, a best-selling author of The Holistic RX, Your Guide to Healing Chronic Inflammation and Disease. So welcome, Madiah, to the Business and Learning Show.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here with you. Yay!
Yay! I am so excited to have you. You guys are going to absolutely love Dr. Saeed. She is like the best friend you always wanted. So for those of us that don't know you, I told everyone you are a best-selling author and a mom of 4 boys and a physician. What else do we not know about you that we need to know?
So let's see, where do I start? I'm kidding. So it's really, I was a former patient, and that's where using holistic medicine, I can say the word former in that. And so yay for that. So I'm also the director of education for Documenting Hope, and that's a national organization dedicated to heal chronic disease in children. I'm the medical advisory board for Wellness Mama and Mama Potamus, and I write regularly for Holistic Primary Care, and I've been on multiple 7 episodes of the Dr. Nandi Show, which is an Emmy award-winning medical talk show. So that's, and then print media and radio and all that fun stuff. But I'm currently have my two books that are already submitted to the publisher that will come out, one in September, one in next year. And then one agent is already chopping around my 4th book and working, and then using another agent. Me and him are working together on the 5th book. So yes, it's just a little bit passionate.
So not doing anything at all, right? Not at all.
Like my sister joked, she was, you just don't know how to relax. And I'm like, I do know how to relax. This is my relaxing. So it's just so funny. So yes, I'm very, very passionate with, so I guess I have the 4 boys, but my family lives nearby, and we are very close-knit family. So I don't want to use, my mom loves to drop off food once in a while, even though I'm doing like 90% of the cooking, but drops off food. So there's a lot of love that my family gives me. And so I don't want to waste a second of that precious time. It's like universe blessed time where you're like, Mom, okay, good. If I don't have to do the cooking, and my mom buys all the kid stuff, but I'm like, that's a huge blessing. I'm going to take that and convert it into time well spent. So there's a lot of here that has supported me through this. Yes.
Beautiful. So one thing that I would love to ask you, because I know it's really on a lot of people's mind, and right now, even Tammy is down for the count. Right now, everything is just a little bit of crazy. The added stress and anxiety that people are going through right now. It's all about staying healthy. And like I said, Tammy's down for the count with a really bad migraine. So if you had a few quick little things on what people can do to stay healthy, especially when dealing with added stress. You are a former patient and a physician and a best-selling author on disease and chronic illness. What can we do?
So when I really, specifically in this day and age, mindset is key. And to really we are living in a world where subconsciously negative. And that's where like the world around us is telling us, oh my gosh, like check out. I mean, I think it's just all the subconscious stress that we're dealing with. And because our subconscious governs about 90% of our thoughts and actions. So as like so conscious thoughts and actions is only like 10%. So that's like just like the tip of the iceberg. While the rest of it's our subconscious. And if we either feed the subconscious negative energy, then our conscious is just gonna be negative, and that'll just release to a lot of stress inside and out. And then, but if we switch that subconscious to thinking immediately positive, we use that energy to really gain hold of the more positive things in life. And so your mind immediately thinks positive instead of immediately thinking negative. Makes sense? So that's why immediately when we wake up in the morning, say 10 things that we're thankful for. Gratitude makes a huge difference, especially in this day and age. And then really working on our stress management skills. And this is where incorporating those meditation and the yoga and the exercise or what other forms of stress management in and out of the bedroom. I'm kidding. So any other stress management are all really super important. So gratitude, stress management, making sure you optimize your sleep. During your while you sleep, that is really important where our body doesn't use much energy for anything else. And it really is able to lower inflammation, optimize your immune system, and also build hormones and remove toxins, and all that stuff occurs when you're sleeping. So sleep is a really important part. We're all home, we're like, oh, we don't need to sleep. Now we get up anytime we want. Keeping that routine, keeping that sleep structure and sleep schedule is really important for overall success and optimizing your immune system. So gratitude, sleep, keep people around you that are going to love you and not drag you down. That's I love you. So stress, sleep, social and spiritual health, and then really focusing on a nutrient-dense, rainbow-filled diet filled with tons of vegetables, clean protein, healthy fats that will all heal the gut microbiome, balance your insulin levels, and keep the toxins low in your environment. So those are simple things to really start to focus on and not overly stress yourself out with.
So yeah, all of these are super simple. Love it.
Super simple. That's where I realized that it doesn't have to be too complicated. It's really simple. We just have to start implementing it. And especially yes, I have the 4 children, but I live with my in-laws who'll be back next week. But so 9 months out of the year, I'm with them. And then they have, so it's I feed 8 people on a regular basis. And then from 8 people on the weekends, we live in a traditional Pakistani household where on the weekends, my husband is the oldest, so they all come over here on the weekends. So it can go from 12 to, it can go from like 8 people to from 8 people to even 20 people. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's what's super important to really emphasize, that it can be simple, it can be easy, it can be cost effective, it can be doable.
Yeah, so we don't have to make things more complicated. Absolutely. I love that. Which, I mean, you hit everything. Like that's one of the things that I know Tammy's been doing. I've been doing. I've even been sending out gratitude lists to a few of my friends. Like we're in some group Marco Polo chat rooms, and we share a few of our I'm grateful for. Mm-hmm. And it seems to not only like the act of sharing it, mm-hmm. Helps me, but when I get to hear their list, it kind of solidifies that mindset of looking for positivity around me. And it doesn't matter what the economy is, what the date is, what's going on. That is something that I think is a lifelong lesson and a lifelong habit, if you will, mm-hmm. that is so important to pick up. And it helps people, like even with business. I mean, as you're writing your book, I'm sure you had to go to, what am I grateful for as I'm getting these edits back from from the editor saying, this is horrible and this is horrible and you need to change this. So.
Oh my gosh, yes, throughout the entire process, right? I mean, I think no, either we can never be good enough or we can be perfectly fine where we are, because remember the world around us. I have an iPhone 5. Yes, I have an iPhone 5. They're not going to like, I'm not going to want an iPhone 200 unless they tell me how miserable and what kind of things I'll be missing out on if I don't get the next iPhone,
Right.
And so this is where the world around us is always trying to push us down because that's what moves the economy, unfortunately. And so, I mean, specifically in a time now with social media, where it's constantly, I mean, why is her husband doing dishes and mine isn't doing dishes, or why? Simple things like that, even where our mind is like, oh, let me compare our lives now, even though you can't compare. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's pluses and minuses are different. Most of the time people don't even reveal what their what their struggles are on social media. So, but our kids now are, in this world, and we are now in this world, specifically now with COVID-19 and all this. It's like, oh, let's check the news now, or let's check this. It's a constant negativity. So this is where it's important to really, yes, it's just realistic optimism. Yes, we know that we're in a strict time. This is the most we can do, but let's really just focus on all the positive here. And that really helps.
I think that is absolutely perfect. And we are completely, I was catching myself doing those things of just checking on the news. I'm like, enough is enough. I need to move on, and get back to my focus and get back to my priorities. And that's one of the things that you have done now a couple of times without global pandemics going on, where you had an opportunity, you had time, so you worked on something that you wanted to do. And I like to call it, you stepped outside the clinic, because you went from physician to a book author, but there was something that happened in between. So I'd love to know, like, how did you go from just, working in a clinic setting, being a physician, to then being an author?
Mm-hmm. I think it really has to do with the drive that I had. So a little bit more about my background. So I was born and raised in Naperville, Illinois. So I've been here almost all my life. Went to South Bend, Indiana for residency. And at that residency, I literally became a doctor and married the exact same day. Like,
oh, really?
The exact same day. And so when I actually got into residency, I was already pregnant. Yeah. So that's where my dad looked at us literally like I had like, you're a doctor, he's a doctor. Didn't you know how we figured this out? And I'm like, Dad, it's okay. We got this. We're both like in this consensual relationship. We're okay.
Yes, we know how it works, Dad.
We know how it works, but he was just so stressed because remember, me and my husband, when you're a new resident, you're both working 80-hour work weeks. So he was working 80-hour work weeks. I was working 80-hour work weeks. We were about 2.5 hours away from family. And I was a new mom, a new wife, a new resident, all at the same time. And so it was a lot to, take in all at once. And that's when a lot of my symptoms came to a head, because here I was trying to balance all these new worlds. And now with the criticism of trying to not kill patients, and try not to kill your baby. And then obviously then you add that try not to kill your husband. There's lots of pieces here that are really, but one day actually, and that's when I really decided what I really wanted to do after residency was, so me and my husband, we went 3 years, he was in daycare from 6 weeks old. I barely ever saw him, at the most I could, but the daycare was across the street from my residency. And my husband had this gut inclination, and he's like, "Can you go check up on him? I feel like there's something wrong." And I was like, chit-chatting, I don't there's nothing wrong, but I'm like, to appease you, I'm going to walk across the street. When I walked across the street, that's when my nightmare unfolded. And my child was there, nowhere in sight. And the daycare provider was going back and forth, back and forth. The lights were dimmed, so it's like a nightmare out of out of like this terrible, terrible movie. And I walked in and I heard in the back, and I go back there, and she was suffocating my child almost to death. There was actually she had folded multiple times around her mouth, around his mouth, put a pacifier in his mouth, wrapped it around, his nose is covered, his mouth is covered, his eyes are bloodshot. He was screaming, crying, his face is swollen. I picked him up. I'm like, you could have killed my child, and I ran out. That is the day I'm like, you know what? The universe saved my child. God saved my child that day. And I promise I'm going to take care of these children the best that I know how. But then I'm like, how am I going to take care of these kids the best that I know how if I myself are falling apart? If every corner I turn, I felt like there was another chronic condition. And I made it at that time. So as soon as I stopped residency, I'm like, okay, Mr. Sugar Daddy, you get to work.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm like, you get to work. And that's when I was able to see part-time. So I'm like, okay, I have this child, because I was never really able to enjoy that. And then I've had all these stressful experiences with daycare. And I'm like, okay, do I want the best of both worlds? Yes. But I want to try to now be fluid in the fact, how am I going to make my income while still, teaching my kids the morals that I would like to teach them, and not society teaching my children the morals they need. And to really, because obviously that time is really short. When the kids are at an impressionable age, I really wanted to be there for that time, specifically with everything that I dealt with. And that was just like the beginning of the daycare troubles for me then. And the next, I think the month afterwards, he had handprints and bruises all over his body. And I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I can't deal with this anymore. And so that's where getting back into, after residency, I joined this medical practice where under one roof there was me, an OBGYN, an internist, an exercise physiologist, nutritious counseling, chiropractor, massage therapy, all brought together for the complete healing of the whole person. And me, I was always looking for the root cause anyway. I was very uncomfortable prescribing medications to people, because I'm like, you give this medication and you can lead to 10 different side effects. And just the depression medication made me so so uncomfortable, because a side effect is suicidal ideation. So I'm like, here you're giving somebody medication to help them be happier, but then the side effect is suicide, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. We need to get to the underlying root cause. And that's where, starting with this functional medicine clinic, a holistic clinic, and then working there 2 days a week, and then raising my family, I was able to sit in the library and try to help the world, but everything that I was teaching. So I was able to practice what I've preached, and then really see the benefit of that in my clinic. So 3 days a week, I was studying and researching. I would take the kids to the library every single solitary day, and just geeked myself out, because remember, we're not taught any of this in residency. So taking fellowships and things like that really helped me get to understanding holistic medicine. Then I'm like, okay, that's it. There's no book. I don't want to read like 200 books. So I put it together myself, after finding an agent who believed in my message and still does. And it's been powerful ever since. So, and it's changed my life around. Just that decision to sit home, and not even sit home, like part-time, to do my passion and really spread the message to a global audience has been so fulfilling.
And I love, this is truly like this story of just crazy, horrific things, and then moving into, you saw something in yourself, like problems that even your patients were having, you were seeing it in yourself. And then just that whole, I just like get goosebumps of think about the process of, I see a problem, I'm going to be the solution. So you did everything that you could to be the solution, even while popping out babies and keeping them alive, and taking them to the library. And it just proves that it can be done. There's so many times that I see people making that excuse of, I just don't have time. I have kids. I have a house to take care of. I'm like, cool, but you can so do it, and look at you. You've written multiple books, best-selling books. You've got 4 boys that you're raising. Both you and your husband are physicians. And it's an amazing freaking story. And right now, the one that's out is the Holistic RX, your guide to healing chronic inflammation and disease. There it is. And we are going to be giving away one of those to y'all. So I thank you so much for sharing your story.
No, thank you so much. No, it was just inspirational because it's like, oh, how can you do it all? I'm like, how can't you do it all? Like we can, as specifically as women. Men just have a lot of more, issues to complain about. I'm kidding though. But the thing is, like, it's like they have more PMS than we do sometimes. I'm kidding. But no, really, it's really anybody, as long as you're scheduled, you're able to prioritize it. Because I mean, how many hours can we sit and watch Netflix? Or like we really prioritize what we feel our priorities are. And so for me, one, it gave me purpose. And I was this cow for 10 years of my life, right? Where we're just nursing and we're just feeding and we're just like running around and trying to, take care of everybody's needs. But for me, this was fulfilling my own self, so then I can help so many other people. And yes, we're all moms, but then now taking that level from a parent to really serving humanity, for me, that's given me all of the more to, and actually now I've incorporated them as on social media. I'm Holistic Mom MD, and everything that I've learned in my research, I translated into my book. From the book, then I was able to now, I'm trying to brainwash my children. Either you can brainwash them one way, you can brainwash them the other way. And it's super powerful to see them brainwashed in this way. Not taking care of themselves, because then I don't deal with the temper tantrums, don't deal with any of the other things. And they actually help me now with this mission, which is so beautiful. And they really feel like, they're just like, Mama, we got to do this, because for them, it's just like second nature now. Why wouldn't you take care of the body that we've been blessed with? And really and then, in the process, I'm creating little leaders. I'm trying to at least, create little leaders for the next generation that there's very little of. So again, to that purpose and that passion and really give it your all.
I love that. Now, remind us, how old are your leaders of the next generation?
So 12, 9, 7, and 4.
All right. Love it. Love it. Okay. So we are to the part that, this is my favorite part of the show. And I think it's Tammy's favorite part too. This is our rapid fire time. So I'm just going to throw a few questions at you, just fun little questions, and get to know a little bit from you. So what is your favorite hobby?
Art.
What's your...
I do professional henna.
There we go. Not only is she a physician, she's also a professional henna artist.
Floral design, art, calligraphy. I know. And cooking.
What doesn't she do? All right. What's your favorite movie ever?
Mulan.
Mulan. There.
I love Mulan. The women in power, they can do anything. Yes.
Yes, go Mulan. All right. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Grateful, passionate, and humor.
Oh, nice. Perfectly described for you too. All right. What is your favorite meal or drink from a local restaurant?
Ooh, from a local restaurant. So I eat at organic restaurants. We have a Seasons 52, and I love their scallops with green beans.
Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Love it. Oh, absolutely love it. Now I'm really hungry. Thanks a lot. Now I'm hungry. Oh my goodness. So, I just, again, I want to just say thank you so much for talking with me tonight and just sharing a little bit about what it is you do, and that the fact that you did it all the while doing henna and everything else. And being artistic. So I absolutely love it. So tell our audience who does not know you, how can they connect with you? Where can they connect with you?
So on social media, I'm Holistic Mom MD, and so Holistic Mom, and also Instagram and Facebook. And they can connect to me. I usually answer all my questions, whatever questions people have. I'm very passionate about getting other people. I have given out my book proposals to whoever needs them. I spend a lot of money on the book proposal. So I hear this is my gift to you guys to really to send me a text or a message on my social media, and I would love to send you my book proposal. I'll email that to you so you have like an outline of what has worked in my situation. And then really I have lots of amazing gifts on my social media, like my there's the free healing bundle. People are always like, where do I start? Oh my gosh, I know it's overwhelming, so I like to put it like all on my social media, where you can just start from these simple things. It's like a cookbook, what a 7-day healing day week looks like, a healing day looks like, anyone's shopping lists of what to do to really start your boot camp for healing, and that's your free healing bundle that is on my website. And yeah, so otherwise, my book is The Holistic RX. My children's book is coming out soon. It's called Adam's Healing Adventures. And then, so a family health expo. If it doesn't get canceled, I'm supposed to be putting together the first family health expo in September in Naperville, Illinois. So I'm hoping that by September all of this will clear out. But so yeah, there's a lot of great ways I'm here of service. I know I had to learn this route. There was a lot of it how was research, and I felt like there was not enough people just, helping me, like unconditionally just helping. And that's why I would love to offer my services or guidance for anybody that would love this, finding, avenues to different types of revenue. I have courses, so my course is called Real Healing for Real Life. So there's a lot of things outside the clinic that that I've had to like learn on my own, and I would love to help anybody out and help guide them.
What a huge blessing. And that's like the other thing too, like you've created so many different income streams between the courses, the book, your speaking gigs, and your day job, if you will, of being a physician too. So you have like all these different income streams, and I love that, like in a time where you may need to change things up. So if you're not unable to be doing the speaking gigs because a lot of events are canceled, there may be a hurricane or a global pandemic, you can then shift that income generating stream back over to your online courses, where you don't have to be in person. They can do it on their own. They can do it at their own pace. And then you also have your book, and then also doing the practicing. So I think that's a great lesson for people. And the offer from you of just like, I will download what I have learned into you so that you can learn from my mistakes is such a huge, amazing blessing.
Oh my gosh. Anything that I can do, because we all need to help this world together. Not one person can make change that will last. It's all of us as a cumulative effect. I love the quote, a rising tide lifts all boats, and to really work together to, create that change from the inside out and help others. So because it's just whatever you throw back into the water, it really comes back at you. So it really does. It's like a win-win for everybody. So I've been there. I've done it. You guys can do it. There's no excuses. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm here to help you on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us and sharing all of your wonderful wisdom with us. I really appreciate you being here today. So thank you. So thank you guys for joining us on the Business and Learning Show. we would like to thank Dr. Saeed for being here and just sharing all of her insights. And if you want to connect with her and just get her free offerings that she has on her website, see what she's doing to create those multiple income streams, you can visit her at holisticmommd.com. And next week, we will be joined by Tammy's personal friend and financial expert, Patty Gale. So make sure to visit us at businessandlearning.com to sign up for our mailing list, subscribe to the podcast, and much more. We will have the show reminders and everything there for you. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us.